Good evening to everybody, and thanks for being here instead of going out and having a beer with friends. It was good to see. We have today with us Margherita Bonetto. Thank you for accepting our invitation and for spending your time with us, sharing your experience. It's always nice to have people who is willing to share own experience. So thanks for this. Just a short introduction. Well, I will introduce myself first. I'm Marila Nancy. I have a computer engineering background. We had a similar background with Margherita. We attended many lessons together at the university. I live in Trieste, and currently I work for a local company here in Trieste. And I'm part of Tech and Chips since several years, together with Alessandra Lederchi, Federico, Luca. Yeah, organizing this kind of event all together. Instead, a short introduction about Margherita. Margherita Bonetto, she is a solutions architect at AWS, Amazon Web Services. She's been tech enthusiast since university, so working on operations and app modernizations for many years after that. And as well, she is very active in topics such as diversity, equity, and inclusions, especially when it comes to reducing the gender gap in the team and the IT world. So, well, first of all, Margherita, if you want to start telling a bit about you, who is Margherita, more into details, what has been your university experience, your studies, what was your path in that sense? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Marela. Thank you guys for having me here tonight. Very happy to share my experience and what means DevOps to me. It's based on my study and mostly on my experience, let's say, training on the job. So yeah, let's start from the very beginning. I studied in Trieste. I studied with Mariela and Alessandra as well. We attended the same bachelor degree. I see some hearts. I studied information engineering, curriculum telecommunications. So it's not IT related. So IT related, but at the end I'm part of an IT department. And then my master's degree as well was in the University of Trieste, and I'm an electronical and telecommunication engineer. I wasn't that much into, let's say, electronical engineering. I prefer the telecommunication part of that. In particular, I was very enthusiastic about images and video processing. And it was part of the telecommunication path, let's say, at least at the University of Trieste. And during my last year, I worked at EPFL. I don't know if you know. It's the it's in French. Sorry for my pronunciation. It's the École Polytechnique in Lausanne. It's in Switzerland. It's a polytechnical university in Switzerland, and I work for the multimedia signal and images processing lab, and it was like 2014, and my project was about video surveillance with drones. And again, it was like about 10 years ago. So it was very the starting point when we start talking about drones and video surveillance with drones as well. And my project was about, find out the best trade-off between privacy. We use privacy-related optical filters, and on the other side, we need to survey, so to supervise. So we need to figure it out if something malicious went, I don't know, maybe someone is trying to steal in my bag in a parking lot. So the idea is trying to figure it out, who is trying to attack, to aggress this person, while on the other side we need, let's say, to blur, to protect the, the cars, some sensitive data related to, the background. So this was my project, the last project I did when I was in Trieste, and then I came to Milano. This is my first job, my first experience. I was a consultant in Accenture. You may already know Accenture is a big American company, consulting company, mostly focused on technology. And I don't know if if it still happens, but when I was still attending the last year of university, maybe not many, but few companies called me, and they were interested into having me for an interview. So I see some reaction. So it was because of the engineering path journey I did. I don't know if they have some database in the university to figure it out who may be interested in the job and so on. I attended a different interview. Both were locals, let's say close to Trieste, and then Accenture called, and I did these 3 different interviews. And at the end, the HR, the recruiter, called me back, and she said, "You know what? We are interested into your CV, and you did well, and we would like to offer you a position in a DevOps team." It was 2015, so 7 years ago. It was we talk about DevOps, and she mentioned it will be a cloud project. So you will work on AWS platform as consultant for different customers. And the DevOps part, the DevOps approach, and on the other side, the cloud solution, the cloud platform, they both have been always part of my jobs as well, my journey as an engineer. And it's very interesting because it was the very beginning. It was my first job, when I graduated. So let's start from them. I don't know, Mariela, if you have. No, I thought you had a question.
No.
Okay. Okay, please interrupt, or if you want to interact, the guys, don't be shy if you want to type anything. I don't know if I get notified, but I think Mariela or Alessandra get notified. Yes. And if you have any question as well. So I started in this DevOps team. I was the ops part of the DevOps team. I mean, we were like 10, maybe 15 people, split between developers and operations people, and I was part of the operation team, mostly working on the infrastructure and architecture side of the project. We were architecting as well. We didn't just deliver the project and maintain the project, but we even draw down the architecture part and so on. So that part, my first day at Joe, was the very beginning of my, let's say, DevOps journey. And I figured it out later when I started, studying and investigating further what DevOps means, that DevOps it's about culture. So it's not easy to define. There's not, let's say, a standard. I was part of a DevOps team, and then I joined another company, and I was a DevOps engineer, and they were completely different. But it's okay. It's okay because, again, DevOps is more about culture. It's more about an approach. There are no strict guidelines to find out. The idea is to have all the company on board. I mean, you cannot just have a DevOps team while you keep a dev classical only only team, when maybe you don't have the business or the strategy team not on board, not engaged, not interested into DevOps, you will fail for sure.
So there was a bit of disalignment in that sense.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, definitely. There was. And yeah, the idea again is the collaboration. It's the focus point, the collaboration between the developers and the classical operational teams. And what I really do like is if I don't want to talk about history of DevOps, but if you try to, if you investigate a little bit more about these topics, you will figure it out that the DevOps theory, let's say DevOps approach, was built by builders, which is very important. It's built by someone who is like us, who knows what it means building software, building infrastructure, and so on. So it's very important. It's let's say the consequence of an experience, of our experience as well, and it's based into collaboration between developers and operational team. On a traditional approach, you can think about, let's say I'm a developer, I want to release fast, speed is my focus, I want to release new features, I want to complete this project, while on the other side, you have the operations team, and they say, please keep this platform stable, stop deploying on Friday. This is very common to say, stop deploying on Friday, then it's the weekend, and so on. So yeah, I see some smiling face. So this is, let's say, traditional approach, some silos, completely splitted between developers and operational teams. So they have different goals as well. I'm a developer, my goal is the speed. I need to operate fast. While on the other side, I'm operative teams. I'm a sysadmin. I need to have a stable, resilient platform. So the idea is, okay, we don't want this, let's say, border anymore. Let's have a new team, a new concept of team. We work together. We work on some new outcomes, on some KPI goals, which usually are the time to market. The idea is to decrease the time to market. So I want to release my feature faster to my end user, to my customer, whatever. The idea is to keep in mind that you need to minimize the downtime as well. Additionally, the focus is again on my final user. So I want them to have a great user experience. It's changed. Let's say 20 years ago, we didn't speak something about that. So the focus again, it's my final user. And on the other side, I'm not afraid of testing, innovate, start new product, new idea, because I know my system as well, the recovery time for my system is acceptable. So the goal for these, let's say, new teams, a mix of what we had, developers and operation, is now a mix of them, and they have these common goals, which are again time to market, decrease the time to market, guarantee the no downtime, guarantee the uptime of my platform, and the recovery time as well is super important. We need to recover fast. So again, I'm a developer. I'm not scared to deploy my code on Friday. I don't know, because I know I can have an automatic way to roll it back. I have versioning enabled, so I can roll back very easily. So this is super important. I see many heads up, so I know you agree, guys. This is a very, very important topic. So yes, mentioned, I was ops part of DevOps team mostly when I started, and then my second job was in Subito. Subito.it, you may know. It's this digital marketplace. Now it's Tutto Subito. You may see the ADV in TV, between TV shows. It's now they can, let's say, sell using your app. It's very interesting. I know it's Subito actually is part of Adevinta. I don't know if you know the group name. Adevinta, it's the let's say main, it's the core of marketplace, online marketplace. all of the very important marketplace are part of Adevinta. For Italy, we have Subito.it. For example, Adevinta bought eBay last year, eBay classifier, so the marketplace part of eBay. So it's let's say the top on the market so far for the marketplace. And my idea when I moved there was I don't want to be it's not like I don't want to be a consultant anymore, but I want to work on something that fits on me. I mean, I would like to have something which is interesting, which I can directly influence. I don't want to influence my customer anymore. I want to have a new environment when I can try to innovate, I can try to bring new ideas. I want, let's say, startup environment, a startup approach. So this is why I moved to Subito, and I was there a DevOps engineer. Oh, I see there's a question. Okay, you already commented. Oh, sorry. Okay. I got notified as well. So again, I was saying that, when I joined Subito, why I joined Subito, and there I was a DevOps engineer. So I was both developer and operation. And when I joined Subito, it's where I figured out what really DevOps, 100% DevOps approach means. Again, there's not a standard way to do DevOps. There are some guidelines you can try to follow. But in any case, when I was there, I identified, I identify and approach this agile world. You may know agile, it's let's say it's older than DevOps, and DevOps can be part of agile, or let's start from agile then move into DevOps. They share some again guidelines. So the idea for agile is the opposite to the waterfall approach. In the waterfall approach, you may know you have some building blocks. They depend. They are related each other. So I don't have any possibility to deploy fast. I need to wait for all my building blocks to be ready. Sometimes I wait for months before I can release a new version of my product. And when you move to agile, it's completely different. The idea is to increase your deployment frequency. So deploy fast. Don't worry, again, you won't break anything. And if you break it, we have a rollback procedure, so maybe no one will notice. And the idea in agile is, and we follow that in Subito, was to break the monolith. In any case, break your functionalities, work in an atomic way, a very small part of your system, so you can directly focus on that. You may have dedicated teams to dedicated functionality of your app, or your website, your software. It depends what your product is. So don't be afraid of that. And you can deploy fast. You have very small pieces you can change, you can influence. What does it mean? It means your entire system will adapt. You can reiterate your system according to your needs. Your need means, I don't know, or maybe your platform, you may have some technical needs, technical requirements. On the other side, you may need customer feedbacks. So maybe someone say, okay, I don't like this feature anymore. I want it to be changed. Okay, don't worry. You don't need to wait, I don't know, a quarter, 6 months, a month to have a new version of your software. You can have it in a very quick way, because we split in very logical, small pieces our functionality, so we can work directly on that. It will be ready, I don't know, in a week, in a day, in an hour sometimes. So this is a very agile. We say it in Italian as well, agile. It makes sense, a very agile approach. And an agile framework, I know because it's in Subito, it's Scrum. You may already know the Scrum approach. You work with this sprint. We add 2-week sprint. You have the ceremony. You have the Scrum Master to coordinate all this ceremony. And then you add the product owner, which is the figure between the business and the technical team. He will share the priorities, will coordinate developers' tasks. In Scrum, we talk about, you talk about developers, but developers are operative teams. It's not just developers, maybe infrastructure team, observability teams, I don't know, security teams. In any case, they are all coordinated by the product owner that usually talks with the business and then come back to technical people and try to influence the roadmap somehow. So this was my my path in Subito. And guess what? When I joined Subito, they were migrating to AWS. So again, you see DevOps approach and cloud and AWS in Subito as well. I was part of a platform team. You may already know platform team. It's strictly related to DevOps team. Sometimes you find we have a DevOps team, which means we have a platform team. Sometimes you heard about SRE, and you say, okay, we have a SRE team and it's a platform team. Usually, I like to call that the platform team is kind of angels supervising all the activity, all other teams or all product teams and developer teams. The idea is to provide a great framework to do your job. Usually they work on internal shared services, which means maybe a platform team takes care of, I don't know, infrastructure as code, the modules for infrastructure as code. They take care of CI/CD pipeline as well. They build that. They implement maybe some modules that can be shared between different projects. They are usually a mix of background. They can come from dev team, ops sysadmin, infrastructure team, security team, which is super important, observability team as well. I don't know if you have a network team, they can come from a network team. And they write down the guidelines for all the other teams. And this guideline can be, let's say, the border as well. There's some controls they can add. For example, I don't know, I'm a developer, I'm trying to commit and merge new code, and maybe my merge action will automatically trigger, I don't know, some testing or some checkings on my code, and maybe the platform team, the security part of the platform team, they add some very important security related checks. So if my code is not secured by default, it will not pass and it will be not automatically deployed. So that's why I call them kind of angel, in the sky, let's say. And I was part of that. I was part of a platform team. I started as a kind of sysadmins because of my background working on AWS. As you can imagine, I was more focused on the infrastructure side, let's say building AWS services, while after a few months, I moved into observability. I know observability can sound a little bit boring. Observability is not monitoring, which is super important. In Italy, we don't pay enough attention, unfortunately, on observability, not only in Italy, I have to say. Observability is about deeply understanding your system, how it's performing your system. It's based on the three most important things you can observe, which are logs, of course, metrics, and traces. Most of people usually forget the traces part, but this is super important. Think about a a system built by microservices. You may have hundreds and hundreds of microservices. So you need to understand your requests between different microservices, the meshing between them. So tracing is very important as well. I see there's a question, Matteo. How can you create a platform team that isn't a bottleneck? Because you provide the framework. You don't need to directly engage part of the platform team. It's all automagic. It's all done under the hood. So the product team doesn't directly interact with the platform team. They can interact if they need an additional internal, let's say, feature, and it will be added. But in any case, the product teams are 100% autonomous into doing their job. I mean, when I say, huge question. When I said maybe there are some security related checks, I don't mean there is someone who manually goes there and checks. I mean there are other processes that automatically check, reiterate on your code, and say, okay, you can pass or you cannot pass. Okay, so I was mentioning the observability. Again, it's super important, guys, to observe your system. If your next question is about how do I properly observe my system, my approach is, my approach is quite of a Nazi approach. So let's start from the most usual approach. Most usual approach is I observe anything. Let's try to see everything. I want to add many metrics. I want to add many logs. I want to have many very nice dashboard. Maybe I had some machine learning, forecasting, anomaly detection, and that's all. And this is the most common approach. It works. It's a great approach, but always take time to understand what is really, really important to be observed. If you start observing all, it's not so easy to understand what is very important to be observed. Again, there's not a standard. What is important now may be not so important tomorrow. So again, you need to reiterate and process it again. You can start observing as much as you want, but if you observe everything, you don't observe anything. So this is, Mariela?
Yeah, I wanted to ask if this move you had to the observability path, then was it a kind of promotion? Because I see there's someone that should have like experienced one that is let's say assigned to this position. It's not like, okay, anyone can do this.
No, and it was my first time talking about observability, and I was kind of team lead for the Italian team, and then as I mentioned, Adevinta is the main group, and then we work with different countries to share what we did in Italy about observability. I'm super proud of this. It was a very great team, and very happy to have been part of this great project. And starting from Italy, then we went to Spain, we went to Austria, talking about what we did for observability and how to increase the idea of what is happening inside your system. So it was kind of promotion maybe. So, but it's the startup approach.
Yeah,
so very horizontal.
It was like just that it was like married to someone.
Yeah. And I mentioned the most common approach. Now I mentioned Marghe approach, which is mine approach. And usually I do the same for security as well. So my idea is no one is allowed to do anything in my system. And the starting point on the other side is I don't observe anything. And then it starts to come from maybe product team, a business team, I don't know, a single product team, a developer, and so on, then trying to raise their hand and say, okay, I need to observe this, I need to have verbose logs on this, I need to try how to integrate this matrix and this logging and these traces and so on. So usually I prefer to start from this. So I start from not observing anything and then trying to understand with my users, let's say, internal or external users, what is really important to be observed. Because again, there's this risk that you have too much information, so you cannot filter the noise. So you cannot figure it out what is very important to your system. And again, I do the same for security. If you ask me how to approach security, you may have a security team. I suggest to have a security team, maybe a security account, we call them in AWS. It's where you build your system, a separated account from production, so no one can directly access your production, but people can access logging, tracing, for auditing, metrics as well. So no one can directly interact with production, but they can figure it out what's happening into production by looking at this external account, external system. Let's say, and day one, you cannot see anything. Day two, you tell me what you need to see, and I will check if I can provide you the grants to do it. So I do the same, both for observability and security.
There is a question
from
Alessandra. What is SRE?
Yeah, I mentioned that. So I've never been 100% SRE. SRE, you may know, it's from Google. The two famous books from Google are totally free, so my suggestion is to go and, and read them, but I will answer your question. But in any case, it's explained so much better on their book, their experience. Sometimes I see SRE, it's closely related with DevOps, and as mentioned, many people say, okay, I do SRE, so I do DevOps. It's a little bit different because, when you talk about DevOps, again, it's more about culture. While on the other side, when you read SRE books, is about practices and metrics, how to build your engineering team. And the SRE engineer is just focused on SRE. Why? If you have a DevOps team, you may have a mixed group of people. You may have operation or sysadmins, developers, security people, network people, observability people. And if you do DevOps, your focus again is the time to market, the collaboration between developer and operation, while on the other side is the reliability of your system if you do SRE. So, and what I do really like from SRE and is they have this operations approach to software. They say like that, and they project observability. It's one of the main focus. So as mentioned again, I think observability, it's super important to be considered as part of your system, even if it's not in production already. Okay, so I try to answer according to my experience, guys. And okay, see another one, Giovanni. Okay, thank you. Observability is related to technical issues. Is it related to functional aspect? It depends. But if you talk with technical people, they may say observability is just related to technical, let's say technical point of view, not only issue. So I want to understand my system, my code as well, my network, how is it performing? While on the other side, can we talk about technical point? Can we talk about it from a technical point of view without considering a product point of view? My answer is no. So I think it's super important to observe the product-related metrics as well. Usually it's only metrics, but let's say I have a new product. I want to understand if my new feature is loved enough, how many people enable my new features, and this can directly, of course, impact my system. Maybe I figure it out, on that date, this new feature was released and many, customer in Asia enable this feature in my product. And at the same time, I had maybe an overload, maybe CPU, I don't know, memory-related problem inside my Asia region, inside my Asian system. So if you can correlate this, to me, it's super important as well. Okay, guys, so my last experience, what do I do nowadays? I'm a part of AWS Solutions Architect team, working for the Italian community. So I'm working for Italian customers. What I did, I do really like from AWS is, and it's not so far from Subito, it's the startup approach. I mean, we work with our customer, we support them into their cloud journey, which means, okay, I work on-prem, I want to migrate into cloud, or I already work on cloud, I want to optimize my workload, or I have a very old platform working on AWS, how to modernize my stack. So many different scenarios. We work with with all of this, but at the same time, in our company, the approach is like a startup. We are innovator as well. We are builder as well. I do not only focus on this activity I mentioned, the, let's say, consulting, advisory part. I, for example, can contribute into technical content. I can work with service team to build the new services for the platform somehow. Build with them, let's say, the services for my customer according to their feedbacks. I can, let's say, implement new, I don't know, workshops for very interesting new topics. I can attend conferences. I can be part, I can be a speaker for meetup as well. I can contribute in many, many ways into, let's say, Italian technical community. And what I really like, as mentioned by Mariela, I'm part of Inclusion, Equity and Diversity Committee in AWS Italy. So you may know there are not many girls in STEM and technical positions. So we are trying to change this as well. We are working with elementary school, high school, university as well, but not only, we are collaborating with SciTech and many Italian great company or onlus focus on this gender gap and how to have equity at work as well in IT. And again, I do like this as an AWS person. So this is something super important to me. And just to give you, let's say, an overview of my daily work, and every day is different, but just to give you an idea, I'm working with DNB customer. DNB means digital native business customer, like Subito, startup built on the web, let's say, and ISV customer, which is independent software vendor customer. And just to give you an idea what kind of customer we have, these are all public reference. So if you are interested, you may find additional content on our website. You may find some video on YouTube. We do many webinars. But just to mention one of them, it's Music Match. I don't know if you know Music Match. It's the greatest lyrics database. Okay, you know them, and they are in Bologna. I see someone is from Bologna city, and they do really, really great. We did a webinar. It was like, I don't know, was before Christmas, me and Marco Vinesi, which is a front-end developer for Music Match. They built this great GraphQL platform. GraphQL is GraphQL API. It's a new way, a Facebook way to do API. It's different from the usual REST API because you can address different data sources, HTTP endpoint, I don't know, a relational database, NoSQL database, and you do just one request. So it's great for consuming network latency and so on. So GraphQL is great. We have this service which is named AppSync. It's a managed way to do GraphQL. And Music Match is using this service to do the GraphQL API request, and they did very great. We did this webinar to talk about that, to show you how they do it. And the lyrics in Spotify now are provided by Match, so it's an Italian company, and they do really great. On the other side, we have many blog posts as well with them talking about machine learning. You can imagine they do natural language processing and audio processing, transcribing, and so on. And they build their own models on our services. And another Italian customer I can mention is Shopfully. Maybe you don't know about Shopfully if you don't work for like Esselunga, Carrefour, but Shopfully, for example, is doveconviene.it, doveconviene.it, when you have all your supermarket, with the offers and sales and you discounts, and you can try to get, let's say, the cheaper price, go and get and compare different prices, and they have this great analytics ETL platform built on AWS, built on glue, when you want to attach things. And it's a totally serverless approach. They needed to process, think about 100 million events in less than, it was like 20 minutes. And they decide to do it on AWS to have this this great performance. So they have many vendors that upload and ingest their data into their data store. Last, then I stop. Maybe there are some questions, I don't know. Another Italian customer, these two were part of DMB segment. Now let's talk about ISV segment, which is the other segment I work with, is Docebo or Docebo, if you want to read it in English, but they are from Monza, very close to me, and they are a management learning platform, a great learning platform. They are like in top 10 or top 5 or maybe top 3 worldwide. They do very well, and they have this great totally serverless infrastructure, event-driven infrastructure built on NoSQL serverless database as well, and the compute part is totally serverless, built with microservices, of course. And you can find more on their architecture on our website as well, or maybe some video on YouTube, what's my architecture, and so on. So I think we have great Italian company, great technical Italian people, and I'm super proud to work with them. And again, every day is different to me, and I still need to learn a lot. I study every day, because every day this great customer came and say, okay, now I want to talk about, I don't know, container, a new way to do container. Okay, let's start to talk about a new way to do container. Or I want a very heavy way, super complex way to do network, how to implement it with my legacy system, so on. So yeah, every day, again, it's different, but it's super funny to me. And now I stop. I see we have like 10 minutes left. I don't know if there are
wows. You received those wows during your speech.
Yeah.
Is there any questions you'd like to address to Margherita?
Yeah. Yeah, you mean if I have anything left to say, or?
No, I was asking to the people, but if you have anything else you would like to add, of course.
Okay. Yeah, let me check what I can talk about. Well, I don't know if someone may be interested into, I'm guessing, guys, maybe some techniques like related to DevOps as well, like, I don't know, infrastructure as code, or CI/CD, or automation, or if you have even questions related to AWS, maybe AWS environment, I don't know, AWS training, AWS certification. I don't know, let's wait just like
I was wondering, for example, for the DevOps, is there any career path in that sense?
Oh yes, super challenging questions. Two pizza team, Ale. Okay, I will mention two pizza team. Okay, I mean, DevOps is a kind of buzzword nowadays, unfortunately. So you may find many job offers talking about DevOps. Again, there is not a unique way to do DevOps. So it's up to you, definitely, how you want to define DevOps. My suggestion is, if you want to do the DevOps I tried to explain, and you find into the documentation, is start asking many questions to your interviewer, try to understand if they are trying to hire you for developer only positions, operational only positions. Start maybe asking if they do observability as well. Start asking if they have automatic process for provisioning, management, building, deployment, and all these parts, so you can figure it out if it's a real DevOps. What I can say, if you write DevOps on LinkedIn, if you write that you are part of DevOps team or DevOps engineer, you will get contacted by many headhunters and HR. So it's something, it's let's say, skill that is required quite often nowadays, but again, not all the company has this real DevOps approach. Okay, let's be polite.
Yeah, I read Alessandra's question. Two pizza.
Oh yes, so two pizza team. So thank you, Ale. I love this two pizza team. I don't know if you have ever somewhere seen, I don't know, maybe Jeff Bezos or Andy Jassy or someone from Amazon mentioned the two pizzas team. Two pizzas team, let's say, it's a way to build a very focused team, maybe product team, DevOps teams into Amazon. It's an American way. It's American, way to say. So it means you need a small group of people to do a very atomic, small piece of job, any task, and it means two pizzas are enough for these people. But again, think about American pizza, so very huge pizza. It's not like Italian pizza, because two pizza is two people, but it's the idea to split your functionalities, to split your job. Again, if you can unrelated the services, I'm talking about microservices because I come from operation, but if you can split your functionalities, it's great, because you will operate directly on a very small part of your system. You won't destroy, let's say, again, the entire system. Don't be scary to operate, trying to innovate, try to adapt it, try to do it in a different way. And if I can add this point, which is super important, and unfortunately in Italy we don't have this kind of culture, but even the data store, the data layer, it's super important to be split, to have this microservice approach as well. If you build microservices, if you have a microservices infrastructure, please don't just use relational database. You have many different databases you can choose on. Please don't put all your configuration on MySQL. Step behind, start thinking about which is the best way to do it. And usually a NoSQL approach is a great way to start. Quite abrupt, but yeah, this was important to mention as we talk about modernized stacks, modernization. Yeah, we can do like that. Well, we once had this monolithical approach, we couldn't do it, but now we can. So the idea is, again, trying to figure it out the best way to store your data, and your data can be stored even in a NoSQL, I don't know, graph database, document database, data store. Maybe you don't need a database, you need a data lake. I don't know, but yeah, start thinking about that as well. Okay, I see someone.
Yeah, I have a question to you. you started from the imaging and video processing in a Switzerland lab. Then you moved to Accenture, being part of the ops team, not DevOps. Then you moved to Subito.it in the platform team, then promoted to the observability, and now AWS. Congratulations for this. It's a wow to me. So my question is, it shouldn't have been easy, the path in the different moments. So I would like to ask you, what has been like the most difficult one, the strongest one that has left a sign in you, so that changed you, or something that you'd like to share, like maybe bad or as well good experience that you think you could mention?
Yeah, let's say that, I changed a lot. I changed, my mindset as well a lot, talking about technology. What I always had in my mind was the idea to work on a very state-of-the-art technology. So starting from the drone about 10 years ago, now moving into cloud. And when I started working on AWS, it was 7 years ago. And 7 years ago in Italy, we didn't have many people talking about cloud already. So what I learned is do something that you do like, which is very, very super important, but don't get bored. Never get bored. This is my idea. So now I'm super enthusiastic, and I know I'm in a company where I can express myself and again innovate the Italian tech community. I can try to influence the girls into joining STEM and considering, technical jobs as well. So I don't have many bad experience, fortunately, to talk about. I have many happy experience because I keep learning, I keep doing new things every day, and I know I'm in a company where I can do it. I can innovate on behalf of my customer, on behalf of Italian, communities. So all good memories, I have to say. Yeah.
Nice. Thanks. And
I'm super lucky. I know I'm super lucky, guys. I know I'm super lucky.
Yeah.
So.
Have you already been in the Amazon's headquarters?
Not yet. No, I joined in April 2020. So I joined where I'm sit. I didn't even have my laptop, but so the company laptop as well, which is strange with the logistic. But so no, I've never been in Seattle, which is the main quarter. I work in Milano, close to Garibaldi, where I was hired. It's my where was I? So unfortunately not yet. We are starting to travel again. I will be in 2 weeks in Brussels. There will be the summit, Benelux summit in Brussels, and I will be there. But unfortunately, I'm traveling only in Italy so far. But I hope I will be in Seattle or in Las Vegas for reInvent soon. But who knows? And let me mention this. In June, we have again, after like 3 years, 2 years and a half, the summit in person in Milan, end of June, 21st and 22nd of June. If you want to come and join, it's free, of course. We have 2 days activity, many sessions. We have game days. It will be super funny, that part. We can meet as well. And again, I'm super happy to be on stage, physically on stage, finally, working, the AWS hut as well. I can't wait to have it. Back to normality. We hope so.
Did you say June?
June, 21st and 22nd.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, nice. Okay. Is there any other question? A lot of reactions.
Like them. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, your energy is contagious. So for sharing your great experience with us. If you want to share last few words before closing. And
Oh no, I see there's a question.
Other questions?
Yeah. Okay. Last questions.
Okay. Okay. In your experience, is IAC only the responsibility of the platform team, or is it also managed by functional teams and CI/CD pipeline?
Okay, this is great. So, according to my experience as well, the platform team used to build the modules for the infrastructure as code for the services needed, and used to build the CI/CD pipelines for the deployment. And be careful when we talk about deployment, we talk about both code, the code, application code, and the code for your infrastructure. Because yeah, you do it with infrastructure. I suggest to do it with infrastructure as code, as infrastructure as code as well. So according to my experience, the modules, the mainframe, the framework, it's built by platform teams, but sometimes the product and functional teams can build their own small little maybe pipeline project, but they need to be deleted. They are temporary, let's say, because still the platform teams, this angel, this supervisor, are the people who provided the guidelines. So I hope I replied properly. No, not too many questions. Questions are never enough. Don't worry, Giovanni. And guys, you may have my LinkedIn, my LinkedIn link to profile. I guess in the meetup, abstract as well. So if you want to reach out, please don't hesitate. If you have any further question, I'm very happy to answer. Again, related to DevOps, related to my experience, related to AWS. We are hiring new solutions architects. So if you are interested in that path, we can talk about that. We are in Italy, but not only in Italy. So, yeah. So, okay, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, perfectly on time. Again, yeah, don't hesitate. Don't be shy. If you want, to directly reach out, say hello. Margherita, I have a question. Giovanni, if you have additional question. Now, again, guys, as mentioned, I'm very happy to support the Italian technical community as much as I can. So here to help.
Very good. Margherita, thank you for having shared
Thank you, guys.
Great experience with us, and for your energy and your positivism. It's always nice to have people like you in the stage. So thank you to all of you for the active participation, for the questions. Thanks to Alessandra, Luca, and Federico for organizing this event. And see you soon in the next Tech and Chips event. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. Ciao.
Bye. Take care. Bye.